Hello everyone, this is Gayle, and this is my very first Dollar Tree based craft, and it's also a brand new light setup. I ended up getting a different light for in here, and I'm trying to get all the adjustments done, so if this isn't good quality light for you, please let me know. But welcome to my channel. I changed the name of my channel from just my name to Gayle's Crafty Corner. And I'm going to include all kinds of crafts. I'm going to have some polymer clay, I'm going to have some card making, some paper crafting, and some Dollar Tree projects. So hopefully you will enjoy it. I am going to take, first off, the first project is going to be very simple since this is just an experiment. I'm going to take this wooden sign that I got from Dollar Tree for $1, and I love it. It says home, and then there's a heart on the end. And I'm going to just cut these off. We really don't need that. Then I'm also going to take this sign, which you see these at Dollar Tree all the time with different names, different holidays, different everything. But I really like this one because it has the galvanized heart on it. And I'm going to remove that heart. I think. I hear it's pretty hard to get off. But I'm going to remove the heart. Because if I calculated correctly, this heart is going to fit on the sign right there. Looks pretty good. Okay, this I'm going to save for another project. I know you think it probably is useless now, but trust me, these make the best signs. So let me go ahead. And what I'm going to do is I have got some napkins. I don't know about you, but I am so ready for spring. I am going to take some napkins, and I'm going to decoupage these napkins onto this. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to paint it white. So I'm going to just lay out some paper towels. And I like to use the Waverly chalk paint. Oh, this is white wax. This is not what I wanted. I'm sorry, I picked up the wrong jar. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my chalk paint, and this is called plaster. It's not a white, but it's not an ivory either. It's sort of an in-between. So I'm going to just clean that off, and I'm just going to start painting this. You don't on the top, you don't have to worry about coverage or anything because I'm going to be covering it with the decoupage. But the colors on the napkin show up so much better if you have a light color underneath. So I'm not going to make you watch me paint the whole thing. Okay, there. So I'm going to cut this in half so that this side is facing in one direction and this side is facing the other direction. Because when I go to put it on my sign, I'm going to want the flowers to all be facing in the same direction. So be sure you look at your pattern on your napkin. You could also use tissue paper if you wanted to do that. And I'm just going to lay it on top, and I'm going to get Mod Podge, which they sell the small bottles like this for $1 at Dollar Tree, but I had this large one, and this is a matte Mod Podge because I don't want it real shiny. And I'm just going to put it on here. And try not to put any wrinkles in it. Try to keep your wrinkles as minimal as you can. With something as thin as a napkin, sometimes it's difficult. But if you take your brush and just go over it, you can usually work out most of your wrinkles. And be sure you don't go over the sides. You don't want this to go over the side. You just want this to be on the top. So this is a new thing for me. Most of you probably know me from my polymer clay videos. And I will be doing some videos on polymer clay. If you're new to my channel, welcome. We're a pretty low-keyed bunch here. I've got lots of friends that I've made since I've been doing my polymer clay channel, my polymer clay videos, and some of them are here, and I appreciate it. I hope everyone is going to enjoy these videos. Okay, so there's the H. Excuse me. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. But I'll explain to you, while I'm doing this, I'll explain a little bit about myself and my channel. I have been a polymer clay artist for over 20 years. And I started doing polymer clay videos, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And my style is a little bit different than a lot of people. I don't like to fast forward. I like to do things in real time. If I fast forward, it's something like what I did earlier when I was going to fast forward me painting this, because what is it saying, is nothing worse than watching paint dry. So I like to chat. I feel like that my people that follow me have become my friends, and we like to just chat like we're sitting at a craft table crafting together and just chatting. So if you don't like that format, I'm really sorry, but I just don't see me changing it just yet, if at all. Because I kind of like this. I feel like it's much more casual. Being in real time, you get to see more of exactly how long it takes to do some things. Except I did turn off the fast forward that I said I was going to do, because it was taking me a lot longer to paint the sign than I thought it would. And I'm going to take another piece and turn it over to where and let's see, do I want to try to match it? I don't think so. I think I'll just put that down there, and I'll just keep on going until I finish. Now you may not want to do your heart because we're going to be covering it, but there might be some of you that are not going to cover your heart. Maybe you will put rope on it, or maybe you will just leave it pretty the way it is. But I've got a pretty good coat of Mod Podge on here. Like I said, this is the matte. And I'm going to let this dry now. Just trying to smooth out a few of my wrinkles. So I am going to turn the camera off and let this dry. And then I'll be back and we will finish this up. So be right back. Okay, this is taking a little longer to dry than I thought it would. So I'm going to get out my heat tool and just help it along. Just be sure you keep it moving. Don't stop. Let's see if I can get this to dry. Oh, it's working. Yeah, it won't take long. Like I said, this is all new to me. Well, not new. I've always crafted. I have done something crafty just about all my life. Then when I found polymer clay, I just didn't want to do anything else. So I stuck with polymer clay for quite a while. Then when the pandemic hit, I needed things to do that I could sit at my dining room table and do, and I couldn't really do that with my clay because I had too many tools and things. That feels dry. Too many tools and things to move, so I started doing some paper crafting, which I absolutely love. But anyway, I know you can't see this, but I'm going to cut the extra paper from my napkin off, and I'm going to save that, put it in my napkin bin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nail file. This is just one of those nail blocks. And I'm going to start with this. This will get most of it off, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm just going to go down on these edges. And I think I went over the edges a little bit too much because it's not coming off. So let me just keep doing this. Maybe it just takes a while to get through the Mod Podge. I didn't paint that piece. I'll have to get my paint back out and do that. Actually, my paint's still right here. But just sand around and it will make a clean edge on your napkin. And you want to do this all over. Now the tricky part is going to be the inside of the letters. Because obviously the sanding block will not fit in there. work on this for a while and get everything sanded off, and then we'll come back and finish it up. Okay, I am not done yet, but I've decided I was having such a hard time with all this paper, I decided to start trimming, and this is probably going to make it a lot easier. I'm trimming as close to the letters as I can with scissors. Then I'll go back with the file and smooth out the edges. But this is going to make it a lot easier. I won't have so much paper to deal with. So I'm learning right along with you guys. This is the first time I've done this. I've had this in mind for a while. When I was going through, actually I'm getting ready to move my craft room again. And came across my napkins, and I already had the sign. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I had the sign. And I thought, you know, I could decoupage a napkin on top of that home sign. So I thought that was one thing, because I am so ready for spring. So now I'm going to clean up these edges, and then I will be back. Okay, I've got this all sanded now. Oh well, I keep finding little places that I missed. And maybe it's just me being the perfectionist that I am. But there was also a place up here where the paper was loose. And besides, I think this looks nice, but I think I'm going to use the shiny. Let me get a brush. The shiny, the gloss, Mod Podge gloss. And that's available, like I said, these are available at Dollar Tree. These little plastic trays I absolutely love, and they're available at Dollar Tree. And it's good for putting little bits of paint in. And these trays are over in the party section where the silverware and the plates and things are. But I'm going to just add a coat of the shiny gloss to this. The shiny Mod Podge, not the shiny gloss. Just because I think it would look prettier with a little bit of shine to it. Now I'm just using brushes that I have had on hand for years. There's another place I missed. Maybe it's the perfectionist in me. It's funny, I'm not a perfectionist in most things, but when it comes to my work, I really am terrible. I'm a terrible perfectionist. And I have a wet wipe here that I used on my brush a little while ago that I will use. But I just want to put a coat. Doesn't have to be a thick coat because it's shiny. It doesn't. I'm just adding shine. I'm not adding protection or anything. And I will clean it with dry it with my heat gun. And then we'll finish this up. Okay, so let me get my heat gun out. You want to be careful with the heat on the Mod Podge. You don't want to heat it too much. So keep your heat tool moving. And I think that's about done. See, since it doesn't take long to dry with a heat tool, I didn't realize it took longer than it did with just letting it dry on its own. Okay, now let me show you first. I did paint the back, and if I had thought about it, I would have removed these little staples with the twine on it, but I couldn't get them out without the twine. I tried and I just wasn't being much success, so I did take those off. But now we've got our galvanized tin. Let me see if I can get some of this stuff off. This is probably old hot glue. Which I'm going to use also, but I thought I would at least get some of the big chunks. Let me get my Cricut, or my, I guess this is my Silhouette tool. But I love this galvanized look. I mean, it is galvanized, I guess. It's crimped metal. I don't know if it's galvanized or not, but I really like the looks of it. And farmhouse now is the big up and coming, well, it's not up and coming, it's been a big thing for a couple years. I'm just a little late getting started with it. I just want this to stick well, and I don't know how well it would stick if it has all of this other stuff on here. And it's fairly easy to get up. Just have one little piece left. Okay, so that's the side that's going down. Now I've got this Fix-All adhesive, which is made by Super Glue, but it's also at Dollar Tree. So you figure all these things are just $1, so you can't beat it. But I have been told that this glue, this Fix-All, is comparable to E6000. Fix-All adhesive solves all your gluing, sealing, and repairing problems. It's water resistant, works on rubber, wood, and metal. So it sounds like it's like the E6000. And what I'm going to do, I guess first I have to pop the top on this. I'm going to put a little bead of it along here. Smells like E6000. You know how E6000 has that smell to it? And then I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to put it on the back I don't think I had it on. I didn't have it on, so I'm not. I'm just going to use the E6000. I was going to use my glue gun for a temporary fix. And I will put a book or something on that to hold that down. But how do you like that? Isn't that pretty? And it sits up. You can sit it up like this. You don't have to hang it up. Or if you wanted to, you could leave the hanger on it and hang it on your wall. But I just love this. So I hope you do too. If you, I'm probably going to put a list of the supplies that I use down below and where I got them. And hopefully some of them will be on my Amazon website. So if you get a chance, I will earn a small commission if you order from that site. But that's a good place to put all of the things that you need. And I have several different tabs. I've been using it for polymer clay, and then I used it for paper crafting. So all this stuff that I've used here, I'm going to put under the DIY must-haves. I'm going to make a new list. So I hope you like that. Look at the flowers. It looks pretty with a little bit of gloss since the metal is kind of glossy. But I don't know, but come on spring, I am ready. So I hope everyone has a great day and come again soon for another tutorial. Thanks. Bye-bye.